Hey guys, it's Sithlor. I wanted to talk about the Inner Sanctuary skill today, which is the last defensive skill available to the monk. And not sure if it's the fact that the other three defensive skills are just so good, or just the fact that this one is awful. But I don't find Inner Sanctuary to be beneficial in pretty much any situation. There's one rune where I could see prior to patch 1.05 you could have some benefit, which I'll talk about when we get there. But what this rune does, or what this skill does, is for 5 seconds after casting, it allows you to, it makes it so the enemies cannot penetrate or go into that area. That being said, as you could see from that last encounter, it does not mean that you're not taking damage. So anybody that's got a very long reach, or if you're not standing in the middle, is going to still do quite a bit of damage. And so compared to Serenity, which is, although it's only 3 seconds, it will and does provide you a significant amount of protection. This provides just a little bit, but not a lot. It does provide some protection against Plagued, but as you could see from there, Desecrator doesn't help you whatsoever because they can still cast the Desecrator in the middle of the battle. So again, cast it, they back up a little bit, but great, now I'm going to double the pack. Let me get out of here because I do not want to face both of these packs at the same time. Alright, let me, if I can get out, yeah. Let me go to town. We will switch up the skills. Yeah, so Safe Haven, it generates 1550 life per second. So over the course of 5 seconds, it's going to generate about 7500, which is approximately the same amount that Breath of Heaven provides as well. The difference between Breath of Heaven and Inner Sanctuary is the fact that Breath of Heaven, it will generate that initially and immediately, whereas this one is over time. So personally, I prefer Breath of Heaven because of the fact that it's the instantaneous. The other thing is, this is only beneficial to you when you are standing in the area of Inner Sanctuary. So if you leave the area, wrong area. If you leave the area where Inner Sanctuary has been cast, then you no longer get that benefit. So let's try to take out, apparently I'm going to try to take out both of these. So I had to get out of there because of the Desecrator. And so I was no longer receiving the benefit that the Inner Sanctuary provided from the additional health. These are also some of the worst packs that I can fight, with Inner Sanctuary being beneficial for me. So, almost done with these guys, and then we'll switch up the runes and take a look at the next one. The last one. and of course trigger another elite pack. Luckily it's an easy one. And I've finally taken him out. So let us go to town and check out the next turn choice. So the next one is Sanctified Ground. So what this one does is any enemies, once the time has expired, so that enemies can actually pass through the area, for the next 6 seconds after, they have reduced movement speed by 60% or 45% in Inferno. As I mentioned in some of my other videos, I don't find reduced movement speed is effective at all for melee characters. So now that it is ended, you can see how slowly they are moving compared to their opponents. But again, not a skill that I recommend, just as a result of the fact that I don't think that reduced movement speed for a monk is overly important. So Consecration simply increases the duration to 7 seconds. Now, as I said, there's a 20-second cooldown with this spell, and so you have it up quite a bit of the time actually, because every 20 seconds you can cast it, and it can be beneficial for 7 seconds. So it does provide some benefit, but as you can see there, even though they can't pass through it, they can still hit you. And so I was standing fairly close to the middle, not exactly in the middle, but I was still hit. So again, this isn't something that is overly beneficial at all. One of the few times that I can see this being advantageous is if you are facing some really strong packs that when you're inside and you can cast it in a doorway so that the enemy cannot go past. So Circle of Protection, this is the one where I said prior to patch 1.05 I could see this being beneficial, because any damage that you and your allies take while standing within Inner Sanctuary is reduced by 35%. So if you wanted a really defensive build, what you could do is you could have Serenity going for 4 seconds and then this going for 5 seconds. So every 20 seconds you're going to have 9 seconds, 4 of it is complete protection, and 5 seconds is reduced damage. So again, if that's what you're looking for, this could be a really good combination, but due to the reduced damage and in patches 1.05, 1.06, 1.07, etc., I don't find this to be a worthwhile rune choice. If you want the damage mitigation, go with Serenity. So the very last one is Forbidden Palace. Now Forbidden Palace, again, it's not only for you but for your allies as well, and it increases your damage by 10%. So if you are standing in Forbidden, as you can see my damage went up. You can tell exactly when the skill is in effect, and now it's not. So again, that is the Inner Sanctuary skill. There's not a single rune choice where I think that this skill is strong enough to be warranted, but any questions, comments, disagree with my decision, please let me know, and thanks for watching.